I don't know. I saw... I saw... I don't understand them, and like, okay, my take on it. Here's my honest to God, like, no irony, no jokes aside, like, all jokes aside, actually. Not no jokes aside, but whatever. Listen, I'm on my coffee, I'm on my ranting hour, alright? But listen, I don't think it's because Beckett is actually friends with Lyo or anything. I don't think he actually likes Lyo as a person, or at least that's what I want to believe. Fuck off, Jackal. Fuck off. I need to put more braziers up here. This is ridiculous. You know, they said in the Discord that they're gonna work on it. They're gonna think about working on it. Or something along those lines. They said, what did they say verbatim? They said they had an engineer coming to take a look at the Jackal problem. And I was like, oh, cool. I'm so glad they got Mutahar on the case. This game's so ass. But we play it anyway. Anyway. Those are quotes, silly goose? Yeah, I don't know. Oh no, I'm too... Listen, man. I used to hate... I mean, not used to, I still do. I'm like the biggest hater of using tone indicators, but like I feel like I'm the one who needs them the most. And yet I hate them. Yeah. Okay, anyway, sorry. Villa got to it before I did. I honest to God think that it's not because Beckett likes Lyo as a person. I don't think anybody likes Lyo, genuinely. You know, unless they're like some 20-something BPD trans guy in their early 20s that have trauma, sparkle, and are easily manipulated. I think it's sunk cost fallacy for people like Beckett at the very least. I think it's sunk cost fallacy. They've been going up and down for like a year, the past year. Being like, he's different now, he's changed, he's cool now. He's changed, guys, he's changed. And they have to stick to that. They just can't find it in themselves to turn around and be like, oh, I was wrong. Because in their eyes, they'll look like more of an idiot if they concede now. So it's literally just a standoff. They have to make this work. For their own reputation's sake. They touted themselves as the people that were gonna hold Lyo accountable. And, like, I've seen them in people's chats, or even on their own streams, being like, don't worry, guys, we fixed him. Even if they say it in an ironic way. It's like, we fixed him, guys. He's better now. They got Kumo'd. But now that Lyo is, like, doing the same shit... I heard someone, I forget who it was, but someone was like, well, if he was still attacking Rosa, I would say he hasn't changed. Oh, okay, so it's not about him changing, it's just about him picking better targets then, or at least targets that you also don't like. It's not that he's changed, he changed because of them. Oh, that's right. They want to be the ones to un-lolcow the lolcow. They literally looked at Lyo and went, I can fix him. And now, it's not about actually fixing him, it's about salvaging their own reputation. Because they've put so much of it on Lyo to actually be changed. At this point, Lyo's orbiters are more entertaining. It kind of feels that way. Lyo, I can't stand to listen to the guy, dude. I want, like, if I ever have to listen to any, like, Lyo or Lyo adjacent content, I can't even listen to the guy's voice. No matter what he's talking about, it's just so annoying. It's the same shit over and over again. I wish I could make some kind of, like, browser extension where if it detects Lyo's voice, it just automatically mutes the browser. And then it unmutes when he stops talking. That would be heaven. Or I could just, you know, stop watching Lyo-adjacent content. But yeah, it's what Villa said, like, the orbiters are getting more entertaining. It's kind of like Birdie and the Izzy thing, where it's like, suddenly, they're becoming way more interesting to me. Because it's like, why? The way... I've seen people, like, give me shit for saying that, like, I treat people like Lyo and Vlad more like natural disasters than as actual people. And what I mean by that is that I'm not saying that they are entirely blameless. Alright? They are still responsible for their own actions and their words, right? But I, personally, find it pretty useless to sit there and get angry at the natural disaster. I it's a waste of energy and, like, productivity to sit there and be mad at the natural disaster for being a creature of its own nature, right? I think of it this way. This is the analogy that I brilliantly summoned from my stupid brain, right? But it's like it's like people are like, oh my god, there's a tornado coming, there's a tornado. It looks pretty bad. We should evacuate. There's even, like, tornado warnings blaring off, right? But then some, like, weather YouTuber or some weather tuber or some storm chaser comes along, like a trusted person that people trust to give you accurate information on the weather. But then you have, like, an expert, or at least a so-called expert storm chaser, come in and be like, actually, the tornado's not that bad. I think everyone is a little... I think everyone is exaggerating a little bit when they say that this tornado is dangerous. Like, the tornado used to be bad, but it's calmed down since then. It's really not that bad anymore. Alright? And if you keep talking about how dangerous it is, like, I think you guys are just harping on an old topic. Alright? This has already been litigated. The tornado is not dangerous. And so because of that, it rolls through and hurts a lot of people, damages a lot of stuff that otherwise would not have been harmed if people had just been telling them consistently to get out of the fucking way. I'm gonna get more mad at the person that was telling everybody there's nothing to worry about. Don't evacuate the path of the tornado. It's not gonna hurt you. It's harmless. The tornado's just a little bit retarded, guys. There's a new TISM report. The TISM report in general. I did see that you put out the Ponder Sprocket call that you had with him in 2023. Is that the same call where Ponder was sitting there being like, yeah, I don't really remember anything. I don't remember anything. It was all so long ago. Gosh, it was a million years ago. Gosh, what was it, back in like 89? 89? Somewhere. I'll have to check my pictures. I'll have to talk to my friend Shmita and I'll have to get back to you on that one. It was just a million years ago. Yes, that call. Cool. I'm not gonna watch that call. I already get, like, I don't even have to watch it to understand the gist of it. I don't remember. It was a million years ago. It's not my problem. But yeah, I think, it's a little bit frustrating. Just the overall situation. I'm glad I took a entire, like, year-long hiatus. And it's like, someone called, who was it? Somebody called me a former Lio critic. And I was like, excuse me, former? I'm still critical of Lio. I don't know why it's former, but whatever. I'm just not so, like... What's the word? I don't know. I consider myself having, like, I haven't done, like, a Lio stream, like, directed at any Lio content or any Lio debates or calls or anything like that for, like, a year. A little over a year. I'm pretty sure, now correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure the last dedicated stream I did to any Lio calls or content was back in last June when it came to the Kumo debate. I could be wrong, but I may have talked about Lio here and there for sure, absolutely. But I haven't made any Lio content for quite some time. And I don't plan on starting. I'm just here to give my 2 cents on stuff, having been someone even, like, loosely involved. And I mean that very, very literally loosely involved. I barely did anything. I helped Akumu with the FCK logs, and that's my biggest claim to fame. Like, that's it. Oh, right. I was also one of the people to kind of handhold Beckett and Kristanark in learning about Lio in the first place, so a little bit of stolen valor there, okay? Everyone calls Beckett the Lio historian, but he really kind of just, you know, he swiped that information off of me, Kumo, and Vlad, let's be honest. Okay, we were the ones who spoon-fed them all that information that they could, regurgitate to the rest of the commentary community. And I'm not complaining about stolen credit. I don't mind. That's what I told Kumo back in the day when Kumo was freaking the fuck out, being like, they're gonna steal all our credit. They're gonna take the credit away from us. And I was like, dude, as long as the information gets out there, I don't care if they take credit for it. I don't care. I just want more people to know about what kind of bullshit Lyo's up to. And Peaches at the time. I just wanted the word to get out there accurately. And that's why I was there mostly. I was there to just be like, hey, here's what happened, here's what didn't happen. People are saying that Jordan was underage when they move into Lyo's house. That's not true. You know, people are saying that Lyo's a pedophile. That's not true. You know, people are saying that Lyo sexually groomed people. That's not true. I was there to give accurate information to the best of my abilities. And I think I did a pretty good job. Now, if I knew back then that Beckett was basically going to become friends with Lyo and endlessly go to bat for him at every corner of the internet, I wouldn't have even spoken to him. But, you know, hindsight's a bitch. But, yeah, there are plenty of other reasons I'm not happy with Beckett, and they are, I would say, personal. Maybe even petty. Okay. I won't sit here and try to say, like, you know, Beckett's a bad person because blah blah blah. It's like, no, I have petty issues with the guy. Very clearly. The Enlaa well is tainted because, checks notes. You're actually the worst person ever. Yeah, just to rehash it out just a little bit, when I spoke, the last time I spoke to Lyo, like, genuinely about, like, oh gosh, that was back in May of last year. I remember, I think I was in a call, Kumu can correct me if I'm wrong, I was in a call with Kumo, Akumu, and some other people in Kumo's server, and we were just kind of bitching about Lyo and other things as we usually did, right? And I think one of us was like, why does Lyo even dislike me? Like, what is his issue with me? And I think I even asked that question. What is his issue with me specifically? And Kumo or Akumu was like, you should just ask him. Like, ask him. Because I was in Seraphina's server at the time, so I was able to just message him if I wanted to. And so I was like, okay, fine. And I messaged Lyo, and I was just like, hey, so why don't you like me? Like, why do you dislike me? What's your issue with me? And he told me the reason he doesn't like me and that I'm a bad person is that I'm inconsistent with my values. That was one of them. But he couldn't tell me what values I was inconsistent on. And 2, I hang around with creeps. Now, granted, Nerth was around at the time. And I take the L on that. But to be fair, this was before all the shit about Nerth was, like, found out. Like, this was back in May. And I found out about the Nerth stuff, or at least was starting to hear about it in August. So this was before that. And I was like, okay, well, give me some examples of people that are like, that I'm hanging around with that are freaks and creeps. And obviously 2 examples were Kumo and Vlad, both of which he's cool with now. And those were the 2 main reasons why he disliked me. But now he's cool with them. Alright. And another one he gave was... what's her fucking name? I don't remember. Started with an S. It's... why do I keep thinking Spazdor? It's not Spazdor. Fuck. I don't want to get the name wrong. Villa, help me out here. It was somebody that was in my Discord server for like a month. And she liked Lolicon stuff 10 years ago. Spar Danger, that's right. It was like her crime was 10 years ago she liked Sonic Lolicon art. And I asked her about that and she's like, yeah, that was 10 years ago. It was totally wrong. I learned different. I regret that every day of my life. And I'm working to... I've since then worked to be a better person. And I was like, that's cool. That's good for you. You know, she didn't make excuses for it. She was like, yeah, that was wrong. I don't do that anymore. Crash Out Arc? Yeah, I don't know about that. I was sent a video. I kind of skimmed it briefly, and it seems like Bruce is on some wild shit again. And then, by the time that Lyo was like, you're hanging out with freaks, like Spar Danger. Spar Danger wasn't even in my server anymore. Cobra Commander was another one where he was like, you're friends with freaks. But it's like, I I don't think I even spoke to Cobra Commander. He was just in my server. And we kicked him out when we found out that he was trying to, like, he was, like, pretending to be a 15-year-old on the internet to bait, what he thought were, like, pedophiles, or frame people as pedophiles, right? That's when we kicked him out. And then the last example he gave was Cosmic. Hates Cosmic was, one of the people he did an accountability call on, if you remember. Oh, yeah, he certainly doesn't do those anymore, guys. But, Cosmic was somebody who was having a petty spat, like, with, like, other people on the internet. She was accused of cyber stalking, which, what it sounds like it had culminated to was her just, like, following their public Twitter and, like, keeping tabs on somebody that was talking shit about them, as far as I know. To this day, I still haven't been given any evidence of, like, genuine cyber stalking from Cosmic to somebody else. But what Lio failed, like, so the reason why they had this huge accountability call with Cosmic is, like, apparently the story is that Cosmic hates Cosmic. It was like 7 years ago. This person was like, yeah, I was 11 at the time, and one of Cosmic's friends was having an inappropriate sexual conversation with me about Danganronpa characters and asking me about which ones I'd want to fuck. I was 11 at the time, and the only question that Lio asks Cosmic about that is if that happened. Cosmic says yes, and Lio instantly is like, you're not safe to be around kids anymore. But when I asked Cosmic, I was like, 7 years is a long time gap. Like, and considering that Cosmic is also somebody in her early 20s, I asked Cosmic, how old are you now? And she was like, either she was like 21 or 22. And I did the math, which is just 20-something minus 7 is 13, so it's like 20, right? 20 or 13 or 14. And I was like, okay, if you're 20, 21 now, that means you were 13 to 14 when that incident happened, so you were also a young minor at the time. And, not to mention, she wasn't even there when that conversation allegedly happened. All she was confirming to Lio is that it happened, not that she was there or complicit in it. And I told this stuff to Lio, very flat out, very, like, matter of fact, like, this is the information. I have the same information you did, I just did the math a little bit, and I asked her these things, and she would have been 13 at the time. Lio never responded. And then months later, he brought out the same thing again, you hang out with freaks. And when I asked, what freaks? He said, he said something like, you don't even know because you're so stupid. You're just so stupid. You're stupid, you're dumb, you're so dumb. Is your brain even working? You're so stupid. And I was like, yeah, this isn't very productive. It's like, I'm inconsistent with my values, but he won't tell me what values I'm being inconsistent on. And I hang out with creeps and freaks, but either he can't specify them, or the examples he gives are people I don't even talk to anymore, or people that I rarely talk to, or people that just happen to be in my public server at the time, or people that aren't even freaks or creeps or degenerates. Sure, if you want to criticize me for keeping Nurth around as long as I did, good. I mean, yeah, you got me. I fucked up, that was wrong of me. But, again, that doesn't explain why Lio disliked me before all that stuff. If he wants to claim that's the reason he dislikes me now, more power to him. But, yeah. Before that, I don't know what his fucking excuse was, because now he's cool with all the people that he was, like, shitting on me for associating with. Anyway, this isn't about me. Just figured I'd get that shit out of the way. I know, it's just petty. It's just petty, but, like, he tries to disguise it as some moral, like, as something about values or consistency with values, your even, like, in some cases, your spirituality, your morals, but it's not about that. Most of the time with Lio, it's somebody annoyed him, and that's when he goes out of his way to find dirt on the person, because people like Lio, they need to... It's not enough to just be like, I dislike this person because they're annoying. It has to be, I dislike this person because they're probably a freak, predator, degenerate who hangs out with children and does predatory shit, and they're probably a freak and a creep. And it's like, Or you could just dislike them for being annoying. That's fine too. But to them, that seems... I don't know, it's... They hate being seen as petty. You know what I mean? He can't say the magic name Peaches, which if I was a betting man, that was the actual reason. Oh, you're right. Yeah. I had the audacity. That's the real reason, I think, at the beginning, is because I had the audacity to criticize his beloved Peaches. Oh, and let's not forget, he was doing the Psy thing before he did it to Psy. He, in the February 29th call of 2024, he said that he had information that there was a creep or a degenerate or some kind of predator hanging around in my server, and he explicitly made it clear in that recording that he was going to withhold that information until he could expose it himself in a video, and that we would, quote, have fun eating each other alive over finding out who it was. When in reality, it turned out the person that he was referring to was someone that was banned within 11 minutes of entering the server. Beckett and Chris might be trying to lure him into becoming their personal cow. If that's the case, it's a long fucking con, and he's starting to drag them down with him, which is what I knew would happen. Nobody listens to me. I'm just a 1K shit streamer. What kind of important things do I have to say about anything? If it is just to protect their precious cow, they're getting covered in his milk, so to speak. They're getting drenched in his stench. Do you think it's because they want their own... What's his name? I don't even remember his name. The cooler, not Lio. The cooler retard. The actually based retard. What's his name? Smaggle. They want their own Smaggle. Never say that again. What did I say? I've been saying a lot of shit. Oh, that. I mean, it's true. I mean, imagine if I wanted to make Dion my personal lolcow. And I was, like, going around from person to person, like, defending Dion's honor. And going into his chats and, like, calling him and buddying up with him just for the sole purpose of keeping him to myself. That's gay as fuck. Which is why I don't think that's what's happening. I really think it is just stubbornness and sunk cost fallacy. I do believe it's that. They're in too deep to give up now. They have to keep going. Wait till chat learns that you called Lio funny and charming. You'd be cancelled. Oh my god. Okay. I said that, yes, I can see how people can see him as funny and charming. Because Lio has that narcissistic charm where if you see him around long enough, there are moments he has where you just go, oh, Lio. I've seen, like, I can't stand to listen to him. His voice. Alright? Nothing he says in voice is funny, ever. I've seen, though, he's given, like, donations when Chris and Narc or Beckett were talking about other topics, where it's like, okay, that's a funny zinger. There was, like, a comment about Japan he made once where I was like, that's kind of funny. I can see how somebody could be manipulated into thinking Lio's just a cool, silly guy. And Lio does have, like, a moniker of charm to him, but it's a very fragile charm. It's a very fragile, likability. Because the moment you poke at it at all, it comes completely apart. Like we saw in the, Emro call, where Emro wasn't even being that harsh to him, and they were just asking him really basic questions, and he instantly just turned to petulism. Is even petulism? No, I think it's petulance. Fuck. He will just immediately turn to, you're so stupid. Oh my god, you're a retard. You're a moron. I can't believe it. Are you stupid? Or is there something wrong with you? Like, just all the classic Darvo shit, right? It's like, it's so delicate. Like, oh my god, he's so funny, he's so charming, but the second anyone challenges that or throws him off, it goes completely out the window. And that's what I'm talking about when I say he can be funny and charming, because he knows how to weaponize it. He tried using it with me, with the whole Crystal Flame thing, when, a year ago, Crystal Flame had her whole drama that chased her out. Lio came into my DMs with the gif, with the first time gif. Like, oh, you too, huh? And he tried to start some kind of weird form of solidarity with me. And when I didn't bite, he turned back to being petulant and trying to call me evil and stuff again. You know, just ignoring that he definitely tried to buddy up with me in that moment. It's not like I said anything biting back to him or I told him to fuck off or anything. I just completely gray rocked it. Like, yes, nope, yes, nope, yes, no. Yes, I've seen that, and that's partially the reason why I want to do this stream and yap about it, because listening to Beckett lose his fucking mind that his own streamer buddies, his own streamer fuck buddies will not back him up on this is so funny to me. I don't know, I'm just saying anyone willing to go to a McDonald's and a Walmart to have a Discord meltdown seems like a cow if you want to keep around. Doesn't... Oh. I'm just saying anyone... Sorry, I'm bad at reading. I'm saying anyone willing to go to a McDonald's and a Walmart to have a Discord meltdown seems like a cow you'd want to keep around to milk. I can somewhat agree with you. I mean, Dion... I guess it depends on your temperament. It depends on if you are able to keep yourself separate from the cow. Or else the cow is going to fucking sit on you. And take you for a ride, probably. It's alright, I'm bad at reading. It's a really bad combination. I don't blame you at all.